Welcome to the special report. I'm Chiong, the show host. With me today is Mun Hong. Mun Hong is a data scientist by profession. Mun Hong, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mun Hong, what happens if a computer, rather than a person, holds the key to your future? What happens when a single line of code determines your entire university acceptance? As a result, affects your subsequent career path and your very life chance. Today, we are going to dissect one of the most compelling real-world case studies in algorithmic failure, the 2020 UK A-Level Grading Fiasco. A decision that was made in a spreadsheet that sparked national outrage and led to street protests and forced the government to perform a complete U-turn. This story is more than just a historical event. This story is a tale for a world increasingly reliant on automated decision making. So, Boon Hong, I'd like to get your view on this particular event.
Thank you, Chiong. So, as early as 2020, during the COVID spread out, the government has no choice but to cancel the final exam of the student. So, in order to replace this system, they need to come up with an algorithm to predict the grade for the student. So, they come up with an algorithm, and then this algorithm is believed to provide a consistent grade for hundreds and thousands of the students.
But the outcome was anything but fair. On the 13th August 2020, when the A-level results were announced, chaos erupted. The numbers tell a very devastating story. Nearly 36%, almost a third of the grades awarded were one grade lower than teachers' prediction, and 3% were even three grades lower. For certain subjects, the problem was even more pronounced. For example, over 10% of further maths students, a group often known for its high academic performance, received a result that was over a grade away from what was expected. This wasn't a minor glitch. It was a systematic failure with immediate and traumatic consequences for individuals. Wen Hong, any stories on this that you could recall and that you can share with us on?
Yes. Thank you, Chiong. So as I remember, a lot of students feel shocked as well as depressed after looking to see their result. They feel that this algorithm should not be implemented, and then this algorithm had taken away their future as well as their hope. Therefore, they feel the student and the parent took this to the street, and then there's a lot of play cards actually you can see on the street, like the algorithm had taken my future away, and then these actions and these protests actually have given a lot of pressure to the government.
Initially, the UK government dug on its heels. The then Education Secretary, Gavin Williamson, stated firmly that there will not be any U-turn, no change, defending the results as robust and dependable. He even criticized the Scotland decision to reverse course the week prior. However, later on, when the public outcry became a critical audience, this put immense pressure on the UK government. Within days, facing a political firestorm and widespread public protest, the government completely reversed its decision, choosing to issue the students the original unmoderated grades that had been produced by their teachers. Wen Hong, in light of all this event, do you think that the reversal of the decision to go back to the original unmoderated grades was the right one?
Okay, thank you, Chio. So the rapid reversal from a firm stand of no change to a full retreat is highly revealing. It demonstrated that actually the public perceptions as well as the demand for individual justice is more than powerful than single algorithms. So it's also exposed the fundamental crisis where actually an algorithm is built out on a set of objectives, but the the public actually demand a different kind of fairness.
A-Level Fiasco show us that the problem isn't just about the biased algorithms, it's about systematic lack of responsible practices, institutional accountability.
Hmm.
The failure was a failure of transparency, in my opinion,
Hmm.
a failure to establish a clear appeal process, and a failure to engage the public in a meaningful dialogue about the system's goal.
Hmm.
So, what's the path forward and how do we build trust in this algorithmic age? So, now I'd like to hear your views.
Okay, so for the first pillar of trustworthy system is transparency and explainability. So currently the algorithm was a black box, and then it's impossible to challenge the algorithm effectively. Okay, and then nobody know why the grade was awarded. Therefore, to prevent this, an AI system must be transparent. Okay, this means not just a vague public announcements. It need to explain the decision-making logic to the public. Okay, this include providing a detailed record of where the is the data sources, as well as a pre-processing step.
This leads us to the second pillar on auditing. Who checks the checkers? In the A-Level UK marking fiasco, some experts identify issues with the process itself, that there is no institutionalized steps to address those concerns before the system was deployed. We will need to have independent checks through a process of auditing to make sure that the algorithms are verified for any problems related to biasness or unfairness. This wasn't just about checking the final output, it is about examining every part of the entire machine learning model lifecycle, from the way that data is being used for its training to the implementations of its internal code. Whether it's going to be done by hand or by the help of automated tools, the practice of independent auditing ensures that the public interest is preserved and a model's bias-prone aspects are being identified and corrected.
Okay, let me continue with the third as well as the last pillar, which is actually a human oversight as well as a robust governance. So AI should not replace human. So a human in the loop can ensure that there is always a clear and simple and timely way to correct algorithmic decisions. So beyond individual cases, we need a robust regulatory framework and oversight mechanism. For example, EU AI Act is a legislative initiative aimed at regulating AI based on risk-based approach. This framework actually holding organization accountable for the system for their system output. Okay. Beside this, building a public trust as well as a legitimacy, this require a proactive engagement through a public forum and multi-stakeholder discussions. Through this, we actually give a chance for people to find out how this system should be designed and how this system should be used.
Thank you. I believe we have come to the end of this episode of the algorithmic age. Boon Hong, like to thank you for the time for joining us,
Hmm.
and I hope that the conversation we have has provided a blueprint for others to follow as we kind of embark on this very new generative AI future. I hope that we will be able to build a future whereby the code serves humanity and not the other way around.